Your mercy amazes me. Under your wings, your shadow covers me. A promise of love when my heart is safely undone. Speak to me, Lord, your servant is listening. Over the noise, I hear you whispering, my hope has come, and my heart is safely undone. I found my fortress in you, and my soul is anchored with you. My resting place is in your name, forever safe. Speak to me, Lord, your servant is listening. Over the noise, I hear you whispering, my hope has come, and my heart is safely undone. I found my fortress in you, and my soul is anchored with you. My resting place is in your name, forever safe, forever safe. You are never far away, always reaching out to save my weakness, covered by your strength, and I am found forever safe. You are never far away, always reaching out to save my weakness, covered by your strength, and I am found forever safe. I found my fortress in you, and my soul is anchored with you. My resting place is in your name, forever safe. I found my fortress in you, and my soul is anchored with you. My resting place is in your name, forever safe, forever.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's recognition and awarding ceremony. My name is Gerard, and I will be your host for tonight's event. To formally open this event, let us all welcome the Dean of the College of Law, Attorney Miles Nicholas G. Bihar, for his words of welcome.
A pleasant evening to everyone. Before an academic year comes to a close, the College of Law takes time to recognize the members of the graduating class for the hard work that they had to endure while in law school. For 4 years, these students labored through long nights of studying, stressful class recitations, difficult exams, and not to mention nerve-wracking thesis preparation and defense. What makes tonight's affair more fitting is that the students we recognize this year, those who belong to the class of 2019 to 2020 and the class of 2020 to 2021, grueled under the shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic. Suddenly, these students faced uncharted territory. Yet, with patience, perseverance, and dedication, they embraced the challenge of studying law under difficult circumstances. They also extended patience and understanding to their professors who, just like them, were thrust in a similarly strenuous situation. It is said that one must keep his or her mind on the objective, not the obstacle. These students exemplify this maxim. The Silliman University College of Law faculty and staff are proud of all of you. On this note, I welcome you all to this evening's affair.
To introduce our speaker, let's call on the former Dean and current Director of Dr. Jovito R. Salonga Center for Law and Development, Attorney Michael Lee M. Maxino. Let's give him a virtual round of applause.
Good evening. They say that teachers remember only their brightest and most troublesome students. But I clearly remember the pretty faces, the charming dispositions, the curvaceous figures, the sweet-sounding voices, the remarkable talents. I had the privilege of having our guest speaker as a student. I remember her very well, not only because of her potential and eagerness to learn, but I thought she looks very much like Sarah Geronimo. I used to call her Sarah. Her classmates, who are successful lawyers like her, told me that she cried during one of her recitations in my class. I don't remember that. As many of you know, that is not surprising to me. I do test students, sometimes too harshly, to test their resolve and perseverance to become good lawyers. Our speaker possessed that inimitable resolve and perseverance to succeed. And succeed she did, with flying colors. Our guest speaker graduated valedictorian in high school at St. Paul University, Dumaguete in 2007. She proceeded to Silliman University, where she graduated in 2011 with a bachelor's degree in arts, major in political science, magna cum laude. She obtained her Juris Doctor degree from the College of Law of Silliman University in 2016. Our speaker's achievements are extraordinary. She was an awardee of TOSP, or the 10 Outstanding Student of the Philippines of Region 7, and a finalist in the National TOSP Award, both in 2011. She placed 9th in the bar examinations of 2016, my last year as Dean of the College of Law of Silliman University. We had 3 placers in the top 10 of the bar examinations that year: 2nd place, 9th place, and 10th place. I could not forget the sense of joy and pride I felt that moment. My first response was to cry out thanks to God for that unprecedented achievement. After passing the bar, I invited our speaker to handle some cases for me. But it was not long before other more productive opportunities came knocking at her door. She was invited to join the Mercado and Partners Law Office in June 2017 to June 2018, teach at the Negros Oriental State University College of Law, join as a law associate of the Angara, Abelio, Concepcion, Regala, and Cruz law offices in July 2018 to September 2020. She now works as an associate attorney of the Office of the General Counsel of Silliman University. She also teaches at the Silliman University College of Law. She has probably learned how to test her students' resolve and perseverance too, in her own way. But I doubt that she could cause anyone to cry during recitations, as she is such a sweet, kind, tender, soft-spoken soul. What our speaker does not know is that I also learned something from our encounter. When she struck me as the doppelganger of Sarah Geronimo, I started to take an interest in the latter's songs. There is this particular stanza in the song Forever's Not Enough that I like and which applies to our current pandemic situation. It read, "They say tomorrow seems so far away, and now we see that everything can change. My love for you gets stronger as tomorrow comes. I know this love will stand the test of time." Uncertainty about our world and about the future, including the drastic changes that we are going through right now, should not defeat us or dampen our spirits. We set our eyes on who and what we love, and this love will stand the test of time. Friends, please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Attorney Marie Shelo Ibio. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Dean Maxino. To the Dean of the College of Law, Attorney Miles Nicholas G. Bihar, former Deans, Attorney Mikhail Lee Maxino, and Judge Shilelin Katakutan Besario, respected faculty, majority of whom were my professors, staff, graduates of class 2021, students, friends, a pleasant evening. I had been quite uneasy and pressured for the past days. These emotions were prompted by the nagging thought on how to inspire your class with a speech. Well, that is a natural expectation of what should an inspirational speaker do. But what I expect from myself is not to bore you with this piece, which will be filled with personal anecdotes. Perhaps, if I could do the latter, I would say that I did my job well, at least to my own reasonable standards. However, today is not a celebration of anxiety. Today is a celebration of your academic success. And what made this milestone more remarkable and your batch truly exceptional is that you achieved this victory in the midst of a raging global health crisis. So congratulations on your well-deserved success. Graduating from law school is certainly an achievement that not everyone has been granted the privilege. Prior to this day, each one of you had enormously struggled and zealously prayed. There were moments that you were depressed, because you almost had a failing grade despite of your sleepless nights. Or perhaps your self-esteem exponentially decreased because the only words that you could utter or stutter at your class recitations were, "I am sorry, attorney, I was not able to read the case." Or maybe some of you had to retake a subject, just like I did, because you did not reach the required cumulative average. Today, I tell you that none of those situations are indicators of your success. In fact, those times that you hit rock bottom are the defining moments of your lives upon which your character was built or rebuilt. Embrace those hard times, be okay with them, and allow those experiences to inspire you on your journey ahead. As they say, when you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. While today is a milestone in your lives, the battle is still half won. Barely 6 months from now, and together with last year's batch, you will take your bar examination. I know that even the idea of it already stresses you a lot. And I know that most of you right now may have that wishful thinking that if only graduating from law school confers your ATTY title. But that is not the case. You have to relentlessly punch your way through the bar examination and slay it as if you are the Alice and the bar examination is the Jabberwocky. So allow me now to impart with you valuable lessons I gained when I was in law school, reviewing for the 2016 bar examination, and in my professional practice. While I still consider myself as a novice to the legal world, these lessons work for me thus far, and I hope that this will also serve in your favor. So here it goes. First, persevere amid the difficulties. Goals are important in honing and reaching our full potential. But achieving them is not at all times uncomplicated. Well, more often than not, our determination and capability to achieve them will be tested. In the face of adversities, some choose to give up, while others decide to roll with the punches. The latter is what we call perseverance. Back in 2014, when I was still in my second year at the College of Law, my father lost his job. Aside from losing his job in the same year, my father also underwent a major heart operation. Not only that our family was financially challenged, we also needed to cope with the health conditions of my father. Indeed, those times were incredibly hard up. My parents had to struggle in making the ends meet, while I had to work for a part-time job to finance my daily expenses in law school. The difficult times came through and through until I was at the brink of deciding whether or not to take the bar examination. Despite the rough roads, my parents, being my constant rays of sunshine, advised me to take the bar examination. They sold a parcel of land at a very low price in order to sustain the expenses for my supposed bar review in Manila. But I did not take my parents' suggestion. I decided not to review in Manila. What I did was to take bar review lessons at the UP Law Center in Cebu City for 4 months. After which, I returned home and continued my review here. I only stayed in Manila in November of 2016 or during the pre-week. At that point of my life, I was both fearful and determined. I know that they may sound complete opposites, but yes, I immensely felt them both. I was fearful of the thought that I might put to waste the efforts of my parents and the meager resources I had. And I was determined, knowing that I had only one shot to give my best and do an all in order to pass the bar examination. Looking back at my experience, I could say that a mixture of fear and determination may not be completely paradoxical to each other. However, I would say that it was more of perseverance that brought me where I am today. Perseverance is what makes you remove the excuses you have so that you can get the work done. Perseverance is what keeps you going and makes you think that there is always light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how cliche as it sounds. Second, never compare yourself to others. I have always been guided by the mantra which states, there will always be someone better than you. I would like to believe that when we stop comparing our skills, our achievements, our stories, and our timeline with others, we begin to trust ourselves and our own capabilities. And when we start trusting ourselves, we will be accustomed to always put our best foot forward in whatever situation, and we will win. On the other hand, if we constantly compare ourselves to others and think that we are better than them, we become complacent of ourselves and thus uncritical of our own growth. And when our minds become wired to this notion, we will stagnate. In short, when we refuse or never admit that we are wrong, we will never know what is right. Non-comparison to others, however, does not entail apathy. We stop the culture of comparison because the only person whom we need to compete every single day is the one we face in the mirror. When we become to be genuinely aware of our own competitors, i.e. ourselves, we start to look more deeply and acknowledge intently the areas in our lives that we need to develop, academically, socially, or spiritually. Of this self-awareness comes the eagerness and desire for personal growth. When we concentrate on our own development, we develop the attitude of being more accepting to the fact that we are still a work in progress. A year from now, you will run the hamster wheel of the legal profession. When that time comes, remember to always put faith in yourselves and at the same time, always be humble to accept your frailties. Look up and choose the persons, your mentors, whose work ethic, legal prowess, and character you'll want to emulate. Learn as much from them and take inspiration from what they do, but become your own kind of legend. Third, always have the courage to face whatever situation you are in. I had the privilege to work in one of the most prestigious law firms in the country. When I first saw the classic wall where the names of the founding partners were imprinted, I was overwhelmed and I felt a terrible glut in my throat. That wall easily conjured an expectation of flawless and excellent work every day. With a thudding heart that was fearful of the great unknown, I entered its premises, and the rest was history. My tenure at the law firm, though untimely cut short, exposed me to various experiences quite unthinkable. From dancing a K-pop tune in front of at least 100 lawyers, as it was my quote-unquote initiation to the law firm. Though my performance was not aesthetically appealing or palatable, sleeping on the couch at the reception area for several nights because of a 150-page answer, and to acting as an impromptu English translator to a Mexican CEO whose company was dragged in a 4.5 billion pesos lawsuit. I took the courage to plunge myself into these uncomfortable situations. I faced them, though unexperienced, because backing down was not an option. This is not to say that fear did not creep in my senses. What I realized is that the fear that I felt was not the fear of the situation per se, but the fear that he cannot face the situation because of fear. I would say that the former is the external kind of fear, and the latter, the internal one. Conquering our internal fears is what makes us extraordinary. As the great Nelson Mandela put it, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. There will be days in the course of your bar review that you will grow fearful, and it is perfectly okay. But this I assure you, as long as you have the courage to take each day of your bar review journey and couple that with discipline, you will be triumphant. And fourth, trust the process. The unprecedented time that we have makes the hope of returning to the old normal seems to be elusive. But that hope is not lost. This year's bar examination will definitely require a huge measure of your flexibility, strength, and endurance. Aside from religiously sticking to your bar review schedule, which I assume that you will all do, you also have to acquaint yourselves with the changes in the bar examination, which include its new modality. And you will have to do this all together in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. It will not be easy, but it is not impossible. While the bar examination appears to overpower you, find comfort and gain confidence from the lens of your journey and the meaningful experiences you had in between. Let your desire to become a lawyer outweigh your fears and anxiety. Surely, the bar examination will brutally test your mental agility, faith, and character. But you will not be broken. Your 4 years or so at the College of Law have adequately prepared you to pass and hurdle this year's bar examination with flying colors. Remember that whatever you're going through right now is God's way of preparing you to receive your next blessing. So trust the process, leap, and the net will appear. Once again, congratulations to all of you. Good luck in your bar examination, and claim it that come May or June next year, you will all become lawyers. Thank you for the opportunity. Good evening once again, and stay safe, everyone.
Allow me now to present this plaque of appreciation to our inspirational speaker this evening, Attorney Marie Shelo H. Ibio. This is given to her for her invaluable contribution as inspirational speaker during the College of Law Recognition and Awarding Ceremony, given this 18th day of May, 2021 at Silliman University, Dumaguete City, Philippines. Signed, yours truly, as Dean.
Not only is our batch academically competitive, we also boast numerous talents. To give you a glimpse of these talents, let me cede the floor to Mr. Luigi Jesjaro and Ms. Monique Recto to sing A Whole New World.
Jasmine, you want to go to Agrabah? But Aladdin,
My father, the Sultan will see us. It's okay. I'll show you a whole new world.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Now I'm in a whole new world.
Unbelievable sight, indescribable feeling, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling through an endless diamond sky. A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
100,000
Hold your breath, it
things to
gets
see.
better.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. I can't go back to where I
whole
used to
new
be. Every time a surprise,
with new horizons
every moment
to
red
pursue.
letter,
I'll chase them anywhere. There's time to spare. Let me share this whole new world with you.
a whole new world.
A whole new world.
That's where we'll be.
That's where we will be.
A thrilling change.
A wondrous place for you and me.
And now for the highlight of tonight's event, the recognition of graduates and candidates for graduation. Without further ado, please help me welcome Attorney Golda S. Benjamin.
Good evening, friends and family. Almost every year, I stand behind this podium to read the names of this year's graduates. And as I approached the podium today, I felt a sense of emotion. Our graduates either missed out on a graduation ceremony last year when the whole world was locked down, and some of our other graduates spent their last year sitting behind computer screens on online learning. And so I would like to really raise my hand in congratulations to everyone here today for your courage, persistence, humor, and love for the law that drove you to just keep on going. And so with great pride, I stand here today and with great privilege to recognize the graduates for the school years 2019-2020 and 2020-2021. Josebeth B. Azuelo, Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay. Thesis, towards a long-term solution to the problem of illegal settlement in the Philippines. First step, criminalize squatting. Thesis advisor, Attorney Marcelino Maxino. Jorson M. Basileres, Tagbilaran City. A comparative analysis between administrative and judicial confirmation of imperfect title over residential lands. Thesis advisor, Attorney Levi S. Estolioso. Debbie B. Lumingkit Bulgado, Lassie Sikihor. Thesis, a step towards the elimination of discrimination, legitimizing children born or conceived during parents' cohabitation under Article 177 of the Family Code of the Philippines. Thesis advisor, Attorney Michael Lee L. Maxino. Thea Ann Marie M. Siniza, San Francisco, Agusan del Sur. Thesis, Immunity or Impunity, Establishing the Constitutionality of Suing and Prosecuting a Sitting President During Tenure for Personal Acts. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Golda Benjamin. James Shemron C. Coro, Dumaguete City, The Legality of the Unilateral Use of Force Against Syria in Response to State-Sponsored Chemical Attacks Against Its Own Citizens. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Gilbert Agustin Ganier. Kimberly Mill T. Flores, Dumaguete City, Thesis, Parenting and Marriage Behind Bars, Probing the Grant to Prisoners a Right to Apply for the Restoration of Parental and Marital Authority Suspended by Civil Interdiction. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Levy S. Estolioso.
Hannah Jania M. Gaitera, Dumaguete City. Thesis, Legality of Establishing a Sex Offender Registry System in the Philippines. Thesis Advisor, Prosecutor Marites Macarubo.
Tiffany Justine D. Gallardo, El Nido, Palawan. In Defense of Private Interest, Protecting Property Rights and Interests of Coastal Landowners affected by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources crackdown on easement violators. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Norberto L. Denura. Joseph James T. Gara, Pamplona, Negros Oriental. Death by Speech, Establishing an inchoate liability of direct and public incitement of atrocity crimes under the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Golda Benjamin. Anne Therese D. Magaway, Zamboanga City. Thesis, A Legal Analysis on Freedom of Speech and Expression under the Law on Gender-Based Sexual Harassment in Streets and Public Places. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Pristine Ramona M. Raymond. Ceres Margaret C. Mangibin, Sibulan, Negros Oriental. Thesis, Legal Analysis on the Constitutionality of Republic Act 11310, an act institutionalizing the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program or 4Ps. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Eduardo Cedillo. Alexis Don L. Masangkay, Sibulan, Negros Oriental. Thesis, The Price of Life, Expanding the Award of Damages under Article 2206 of the Civil Code of the Philippines to include the loss of household services. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Jason M. Bandag. Junmer Z. Ortiz, Gutalak, Zamboanga del Norte. Thesis, Reevaluating the lack of standing of the biological father to impugn the legitimacy of the child. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Levy Estolioso. Pia C. Soto, Zamboanga City. Legal Advertising in the Digital Age. Is it high time to expand the breadth of permissible advertising? Thesis Advisor, Attorney Jethro Jed S. Cadiz. John Paul Q. Teves, Bayawan City. Reinforcing legislative oversight. Introducing sunset review as a mandatory mechanism for reviewing laws. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Froilan Joseph Pinili. Adrian Ruz C. Vidal, Kabangkalan City, Negros Occidental. Thesis, The Yemen Conflict and the Need to Update the International Law Standards for the Imposition of Naval Blockades. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Gilbert Agustin Ganier. Mark Joseph A. Yonting, Manhuyud, Negros Oriental. Thesis, Equity to Filipino Workers, proposing a national determination of minimum wage in the Philippines. Attorney Norberto L. Denura. Friends and family, the following names are the students who will be graduating for the school year 2020-2021. Diane Isabel M. Aguilar, Dumaguete City. Thesis, Kill Me Through the Phone, Understanding the Concept of Assistance to Suicide in This Digital Era. Thesis Advisor, Prosecutor Tony Marie Perdiguera Escanio. Amiel Andrew A. Arañez, Dumaguete City. Thesis, The Dichotomy of a Church, a delineation between a religious from a secular activity. Thesis Advisor, Prosecutor Marites Macarubo. Mico John E. De La Cruz, Padada Davao del Sur. Thesis, Gray Area of Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, Revisiting its Non-Land Transfer Scheme. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Norberto Denura. Luigi Jess O. Haro, Sambuanguita, Negros Oriental. Thesis, A Critique of Republic versus Sereno, Legal Analysis on the Propriety of Removing a Supreme Court Justice from Office via Quo Warranto. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Eduardo T. Cedillo. Jose Luigi G. Laranio, Sibulan, Negros Oriental. Thesis, Who Are We to Tell a Woman to Keep the Baby? Giving rape victims the choice to abort the child conceived through rape. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Eduardo Cedillo. Emmanuel C. Lopez, Dipolog City. International Armed Conflict with a Non-State Actor. Classifying the 2014 Gaza conflict for ICC war crimes prosecution. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Gilbert Agustin Ganier. Diana Alexa Marie R. Ramacho, Dumaguete City. Thesis, Truth in Advertising, Examining Paid Endorsements and Reviews in Social Media under the current legal framework on false, deceptive, or misleading advertisements. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Gretel Kelly M. De Los Santos, D. Monique A. Recto, Santa Catalina, Negros Oriental. Thesis, A Matter of Life and Death, the Legality of an Opt-out Organ Donation System in the Philippines. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Eduardo T. Cedillo. Gerard Anthony T. Rosales, Dumaguete City. Thesis, Fighting Patriarchy, One Crime at a Time, Eliminating the Disparity between Concubinage and Adultery in the Revised Penal Code. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Levi S. Estolioso. Rhea May A. Cibala, Tayasan, Negros Oriental. Thesis, A Father's Touch, expanding the coverage of the Paternity Leave Act to include common law spouses cohabiting for at least 6 months without legal impediment to marry, and to single fathers. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Norberto Denura. Charmila R. Ciplon, Sibulan, Negros Oriental. Thesis, Probing Liability Against Hazardous Waste-Related Pollution through an action of abatement of nuisance with awards for damages. Proposal to enact a law. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Rose Liza Aisma Osorio. Jehan O. Tupas, Cantilan, Surigao del Sur. Thesis, Extent of Applicability of the Doctrine of Piercing the Veil of Corporate Fiction in One-Person Corporations in the Philippines. Thesis Advisor, Attorney Ingrid T. Tinagan. Friends and family, again, let me present to you the graduates of school year 2019 and 2020 and the graduates for the school year 2020-2021. Good evening once again.
Of course, No recognition and awarding ceremony would be complete without recognizing and awarding the people who have gone above and beyond the call of a normal law student. So to give them the recognition that they deserve, please help me welcome Dean Sheila Lynn Katakutan Bisario and Dean Miles Nicholas G. Bihar.
Good day, everyone. Today is a special day as we honor two batches for our Juris Doctorate degree of the Silliman University College. Our graduates for batch 2019-2020 and our candidates for graduation for batch 2020-2021. It is my honor and privilege to give to you the awardees for school year 2019-2020. Our first award is the Jesus Clint O. Aranas Medal for Leadership. This award is given to a graduating senior who has showed exemplary leadership skills and potentials during his or her tenure in the College of Law, as well as excelling in academics together with the leadership activities that the student has endeavored in the college. This year's awardee goes to James Shemron C. Coro. Another award in the College of Law is the Laura C. Hibbard Medal for Persistence in the Pursuit of Legal Learning. This award is given to the graduating senior who, despite working while in the duration of the College of Law studies, has been able to maintain a good grades, and excellent academic performance. This award for batch 2019-2020 is given to Alexis Don L. Masang. Another award in the Silliman University College of Law is the Professor Joseph David Padilla Medal for Best Thesis in Law. This 2019-2020 Professor Padilla Best Thesis Award is special because since its inception, this is the first time that we have awarded this to two students, Joseph James T. Gara and James Shemron C. Coro. Here is Professor Joseph Padilla, David Joseph Padilla, to send his greetings to Mr. Gara and Mr.
I'm recording this brief award ceremony at the request of Judge Sheila Bisario, your former dean and our good friend. First, I want to salute all my friends at Silliman in the College of Law, Dean Miles Bihar, and say I miss you all, and I hope you're safe during this terrible pandemic. I'm honored that you have named an award for Best Thesis in my name. I've also been asked to judge that, which is a very difficult task. Let me speak first to the batch of 2019-2020. I was faced with a very difficult choice. Two outstanding theses by Jim Gara and James Coro. And frankly, I couldn't decide which was better. They were both outstanding, and therefore I recommended that both share in this award for that year. And I also hope that those theses ultimately will be published in the Silliman University Law Journal. All the best. I look forward to seeing you in the not too distant future. Be safe. I love and miss you all.
I would like to recognize now the students from the graduating class of 2020-2021 for their academic achievements that made them deserving of the following medals. First, the Marcelino C. Maxino Medal of Academic Excellence. This award goes to the class valedictorian for his exemplary academic performance in the 4 years that he or she was in law school. The medal is awarded to Luigi Jess O. Haro, class valedictorian.
It is truly with great honor and pride for me to award this Medal of Academic Excellence to Mr. Luigi Jess Haro. Luigi was my student in legal philosophy 4 years ago. As early as then, he already exhibited the kind of academic excellence for which he is rewarded with high honors today. I know how hard it is to get to the very top of your class. It means hard work, sacrifice, discipline, sleepless nights. More than that, it means deep thinking, arguably the hardest ingredient to produce in the mixture. But in the end, you get your just reward. The medal itself is not the reward. The medal is simply the representation of the reward, symbolic of highest academic achievement, emblem of all the hard work, study, and endeavors that combine to make the achievement possible. There is no monetary value to the medal, just as there was no monetary value to the leaves of laurel that crowned the heads of ancient Olympic champions. But if the medal has no economic value, it is because the value of what it means is immeasurable. It is, in the language of the law, beyond pecuniary estimation. Many can make fortunes in any given class, but only one, and only one, can be valedictorian. Truly, the valedictorian is the eagle of his class. He flies along to heights others cannot reach. In his domain, space is limitless. Congratulations, Luigi, and congratulations too to all the members of the graduating class. Thank you very much. May I take this opportunity to give to Louie a copy of this book entitled Under One Roof in the Cradle of Valedictorians. This is actually a compendium of 4 books written by my siblings and myself. My siblings being Attorney Vicente Maxino, who still teaches in our College of Law, Dr. Gerardo Maxino, and Dr. Hope Maxino Bandal, who were all graduated valedictorian from their respective classes, from elementary to high school to college. Thank you once again, and congratulations to all.
Second, the Jesus Clint O. Aranas Medal for Leadership. This award is given to Miss Diana Alexa Marie R. Ramacho. Third, the Professor David Joseph Padilla Medal for Best Thesis on Law. This award is given to Mr. Luigi Jess O. Haro. Congratulations. I would like to present now the plaque of recognition to Dean Sheila Lynn M. Katakutan Bisario. Allow me to read the citation. This plaque of recognition is given to Dean Silliman M. Katakutan Bisario for her commendable service as Dean of the College of Law from June 1, 2016 to December 17, 2019, as full-time faculty from June 1, 2010 to December 17, 2019, and as part-time faculty from November 1, 2004 to 2008 and December 18, 2019 to the present, reflecting steadfast leadership, commitment, and willingness to serve. Her determination to pursue the best for the college, courageously meeting challenges along the way, and effectively implementing program policies and standards with a strong aspiration for the students to excel in the bar examinations, has greatly contributed to the accomplishments of the college. In working hard and genially at her post, she has exemplified the Christian values of concern for and service to others that rest in the heart of Silliman's vision of education. Given this 18th day of May 2021 at Silliman University, Dumaguete City, Philippines. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Law, signed yours truly as Dean. Thank you.
Our batch has started with 78 students. Now, only 11 of us survive. This success is not solely due to our own efforts, but also to the efforts of every professor, dean, librarian, and secretary of the College of Law. So to thank every individual responsible for our success, here is our valedictorian, Luigi Haro, for his message.
Good evening, honored guests, faculty, staff, family, friends, and of course, the Silliman University College of Law graduating class of 2021. We made it. We are finally here in the bright space between one ending and another. Looking back at the chapter that just ended, what I see very clearly is growth, now that we have the privilege of hindsight. Graduation seemed like an unreachable goal as we went through our first recits, our first blackout moment with Ma'am Golda when she'd ask us, "And what is your legal basis?" Our first law school existential crisis when we forgot the facts of the case during recits with Prosecutor Ben Danillo. Our first "Ikaw na bahala, Lord" moment when we'd go to class without finishing reading all the cases because there were just too many. And we'd just pray the entire time that our names would not be called. Our first time going to class without taking a shower because we ran out of time. On top of that, just to make things interesting, we were presented with a challenge of completing our final year in an unprecedented global pandemic. Our batch had to go through the first online thesis defense, first online classes, and first online exams in Silliman Law School history. We had to deal with unique challenges that no one had to deal with before us, such as brownouts during exams, disconnection during classes, our dogs barking in the background, short-circuiting of laptop chargers, just to name a few. But from those challenges, we grew mentally, spiritually, and more importantly, we grew thicker faces. We learned to bounce back every time we fell, and we learned never to give up, despite the odds stacked against us. And not only did we survive, our class managed to earn accomplishments and grab awards along the way. Our class had multiple law representatives for several years in the SUSG Assembly. We had multiple justices in the SUSG Judiciary. We had the most dynamic SLC Vice President and SLC President in law school history. We were president in every law school organization conceived, from the Moot Court and Debate Society, to Portia Society, to Rainbow Society, Scintilla, and Bar Ops. Our class competed multiple times in the Jesup International Moot Court competition, competed multiple times in the International Humanitarian Law Moot Court competition, competed multiple times in the Grand Law Debate, multiple times in the Grand Oratorical Contest. And on top of that, we joined in almost every sport each year in the intramurals. We have in our batch the best rebuttal speaker during the 2019 Grand Law Debate, the oratorical champion and runner-up in the Grand Law Oratorical Contest in 2019, the top 9 best oralists in the Philippines in the 2020 JESUP International Law Moot Court Competition. We have multiple class honor awardees and multiple full scholarship recipients. These accomplishments are testaments to not just our perseverance and commitment to excellence, but also to the unbelievable support we have from our families and loved ones, as well as the unwavering commitment of Silliman University Law School to our success. I would like to take this opportunity to thank and honor our parents and families for their unyielding support. To my mama and papa, to my sister, my brother, Raxi and Nicole, thank you, and I love you guys so much. We would also like to thank and acknowledge all our law professors who were committed to the success of every student, who continue to make a personal interest in our academic and social development. We were indeed blessed to have the most passionate law professors in the world. Now, the next chapter lies in front of us, but we need not be afraid because we have the key to open it. Throughout our law school journey, we gathered the pieces to create the key that will get us to the next chapter in our journey, produced from our grit, perseverance, and commitment to excellence. Let's keep our eyes forward and remember this song that I like, and it's in Tagalog, so excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Ilang beses man madapat sumubsob, kailan may gawing matatag ang iyong loob. Mga batikos, huwag niyong diringgin, pakawalan lang yan sa hangin. Bukas ay malapit na ring dumating, lumaban ka pa rin. Balikan kung bakit ba nagsimula, bago mo sabihin na ayaw mo na. Huwag mong sosolohin, di ka mag-isa. Ikaw pa rin ang susi sa pinto ng iyong tadhana. Thank you, and Batch Lex Patronus signing off.
To close tonight's event, please help me welcome my friend and current SLC President, Kylene Abing, for her closing remarks.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Supreme Law Council, I congratulate all of our graduates from batches 2020 and 2021. Today is a day of celebration, a celebration of all the hardships, sleepless nights, trials and misfortunes, joys and laughters, nerve-wracking recitations, and most definitely, memorable friendships built over the course of time. Today marks a milestone in the lives of our graduates as they progress to the legal profession. For making it this far in your journey, we are tremendously proud of each and every one of you. As we move towards the end of this virtual recognition and awarding ceremony, let me take this opportunity to thank the following people for making this event possible. The faculty and staff of the Silliman University College of Law, headed by our ever-supportive Dean, Attorney Miles Nicholas Bihar, the Supreme Law Council, Fraternitas Scintilla Lehis, Ms. Diana Ramacho, Mr. Cyril Ortega, and most especially, the Silliman University Administration. To our graduates, God bless you in your journey for the preparation to the bar examinations this year. Once again, good evening and congratulations to everyone. Thank you so much.
May I request of those who are able to please stand as we say our closing prayer and benediction. Let us pray. Occasions like this, O God, we cannot help but praise and lift up our voices to you in thanksgiving for granting success to your children, together with their parents, their guardians, and their significant others, especially in times like what we now have, with the raging pandemic, where our students and their parents and even the schools were faced with this greatest challenge. We thank you, dear Lord, for the completion of another academic year, despite the many obstacles that we have met along the way, for the many struggles that the students, faculty, and the administration have to face with the new platform that they have to use, where they have to go through several adjustments and reorientations, where adoption of this new way of learning is greatly needed. But despite all these difficulties, they were able to make it today, reaping the fruits of their labor. We are grateful to you, dear Lord, for the provisions that you have showered to these students amidst the challenges that they have gone through. Thank you, O God, for not forsaking them, even at times when they almost forget you due to the demands of their studies, for understanding them in giving their more time to their requirements and you on lesser priority. They were able to overcome all those struggles, O God, because you were there for them, silently yet actively working in their life, carrying them, guiding them, leading them all through their way to this momentous event. We thank you even more, O Lord, for giving us the opportunity to journey with them in the lives of our dear students and to be a part in their life. As we send them off to the real world, we pray for your blessings and guidance to each one of them, for reaching this far, and as they chart new beginnings, may what they have learned from this institution will allow them to truly be the women and men for others. As they roam the world, near and far, may they truly live out what this institution have etched in their hearts, the Via Veritas Vita, the way, the truth, and the life of Jesus Christ. May they continue to uphold this motto, bringing the image of this university, bearing the image of Christ, with confidence that in everything they do, they will be doing it for your greater glory. Thank you for each life and each family that is represented by these graduates, men and women, and may their lives be a wonderful witness to all those with whom they come in contact with. Keep them safe from harm, O Lord, in the arms of Jesus, in whose name we offer this prayer. And now, may the almighty hand of our God be upon you, our dear graduates. May the Lord be with your lives from this day on with goodness and love. May God's help be upon you to stay true to your dreams, to use your gifts wisely, and to walk into the future with faith, hope, and great love. And the blessing of our God be upon you, now and always. In the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.